The little figure of Mohandas Gandhi held a spirit more powerful than 100 tyrants. Reverent crowds followed him the length and breadth of India in his unceasing pilgrimage to raise the people up to the light of freedom. Gandhi, an orthodox Hindu, was born in 1869 into a Baniya family of Indian class traditions. He renounced his position and wealth to form a group whose ideas confounded the brutes of the world. He spread his philosophy across a continent that had languished for centuries under unwelcome rule, erupting time and again into bloody rebellions. Love, Gandhi said, and meet unjust laws with non-violent disobedience. His disciples picked up his gentle fervor and carried his message across the deprived provinces of India, where frustrated groups sometimes ignored his good example. Gandhi fasted in penance and often was condemned to prison. Aware of his nation's shortcomings, a land separated by 14 assorted languages, hundreds of different dialects, and a deep-rooted caste system, he walked among untouchables, preaching and living the unity of brotherhood. In England, 40 years of bitter striving for Indian independence began to bear fruit as Gandhi arrived there with fellow representatives. The English, traditionally uncomfortable in the role of tyrant, were ready to drop the yoke. In 1947, the English announced a partition plan aimed at relieving hostilities between India's Hindus and Muslims. There was a bloodbath of repercussions, but it led to India's emergence as a sovereign, independent state. Ironically and tragically, true independence did not come until 1950. Gandhi did not live to see it. He was assassinated in 1948. The man who had done more than any other for a nation that revered him as a living saint was lost to it and the world. The funeral procession crossed a land now plunged into grief. From the most extreme perimeters of the earth they came, the famed, the humble, the great and unknown, to pay him homage. But none had the words. The world was stunned into silence. There was his urn. Gandhi was dead. There were no words. Prime Minister Nehru, his most famous disciple, was as bereaved as the most forlorn, untouchable. All India went into mourning. An enduring legacy to his nation and the world was left by one small, fragile man, Mohandas K. Gandhi, a symbol of brotherhood among the milestones of the century.